Parmigiani is a brand that has been somewhat obscure. Then, in 2021, it saw a rebirth under new CEO Guido Terrini, who helped launch the Tonda PF sports watch collection. Today, I'll be reviewing this Tonda PF GMT Rattrapante, which comes courtesy of a good friend. I'll tell you why this watch is amazing, but it's ultimately quite a niche offering that has space for improvement. Before we start, please like the video. The support makes a big difference. Enjoy. The Tonda GMT was released back at Watches & Wonders 2022 and offers a relatively unique take on the GMT function. A pusher at 8 o'clock jumps the silver hand in 1 hour intervals for the local time, while pressing the gold button on the crown will jump the silver hand back to the home time. In Terini's words, Parmigiani is a brand that focuses on quiet luxury. It targets customers that already have an extensive watch collection who also don't feel the need to be seen or attract attention. Looking at the Tonda GMT, I think the brand has definitely achieved its objective. The watch has plenty of small details that only the owner, or those with deep knowledge of the Tonda PF, will appreciate. Starting with the dial, we have a beautiful barley corn guilloche pattern. The guilloche here is extremely fine, resulting in it not being very visible from a distance and from various angles. While the design of the bezel isn't exactly revolutionary, I quite like the fact that it's made of platinum, giving the watch a subtle cold shine, as well as some additional heft. The bracelet design is relatively subtle and plain, but the quality of finishing is good. The brush center links and polish sides are done to a high standard, and in line with the likes of a VC Overseas bracelet. I would say that the Royal Oak bracelet features better finishing and generally looks more attractive, but the Tonda PF bracelet is just so comfortable on the wrist. I'd personally pick it over a knotless bracelet as far as comfort goes. Coupled with approachable dimensions of 40mm in diameter and 10.4mm in thickness, the Tonda GMT definitely ranks very highly when it comes to wearability. As for the micro-rotor movement, finishing is great for the price. I'd say that this case back definitely looks better than that of competitors, including the VC Overseas and the knotless micro-rotor calibers. In particular, the gold rotor is a work of art and a joy to look at. Evidently, there's plenty to like about the Tonda GMT. It's a high-quality product that wears well and achieves its goal of quiet luxury. In some ways, it reminds me of where the VC Overseas was in 2020. A great watch that receives less attention, but is good value for money and relatively easy for you to get your hands on. Yet, I have to say that the niche Tonda GMT doesn't really fit my taste. According to Terrini, he came up with the idea of the Tonda GMT in 3 minutes. And looking at the product, I think it shows. The Tonda GMT features Moser levels of simplicity, with a vast amount of empty space on the dial. Not only is the dial too empty, but it also doesn't help that from many angles, it basically looks black. It's ultimately a subjective thing, but my taste would lead me to choose a Tonda PF annual calendar, which I think is one of the best watches in the range. I also have some issues with the bracelet. The gap between the links at the side is awkwardly big, and just doesn't look quite right to my eyes. In terms of functionality, the lack of micro adjustment in Singapore's heat and humidity also leaves something to be desired. Generally speaking, I appreciate the Tonda PF's goal of stealth wealth, but I do think it is too stealthy to the point where it lacks some sort of key identity. Unlike a Nautilus, Royal Oak, Overseas, or even Odysseus, there's nothing really about the Tonda GMT that is particularly memorable. It's probably not something I'd look to pick up personally, out of fear that I'd either get bored of it quickly or not have much reason to wear it over other watches. Overall, the Tonda GMT is a great watch that sadly just doesn't fit my taste. That being said, I do get the appeal of it. In fact, I'd encourage anyone interested in the Tonda PF collection to experience a Tonda GMT. At time of filming, brand new pieces are pretty readily available on the grey market for 35 to 37,000 Sing dollars, versus the retail price of 44.5 thousand. As far as value for money goes, this is one of the best propositions on the market. Take a basic steel blue VC overseas, which goes for about mid 30,000s on the grey market. I would pick the Tonda GMT over the VC any day of the week, given its unique complication, a platinum bezel, and the fact that it is much rarer. If you enjoyed this video, check out my other reviews and video podcast series. Thank you for watching.